Alright, look, it's the Club World Cup. This is important. I need to do something out there. I need to do something different if I'm gonna score. I mean, to be fair, it was different, lads, okay? You can't knock that. Yo guys, it is your boy, soon to be bombastically bewildering Trim Niren here. And you are watching FTW. This of course is the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. It's all been about the beautiful game we all love during this Valentine's week. As you can see, I took my Valentine out for drinks. They said my haircut was clapped. We got kicked out of the restaurant because I didn't have the money for it. And I ended up buying a doner kebab from down the road. But other than that, it was a total success. If you're a Barcelona fan though, you may have fallen out of love with football recently. A spineless and generally uninterested Barcelona side were beaten at home in the Nou Camp 4-1 by French champions Paris Saint-Germain. These lot just didn't care, and trust me, I know all about a lack of passion on a Valentine's week evening. They are literally down bad. Yep, thank you very much. Come on. Gerard Piqué seemed in the mood though. He was practically ripping Kylian Mbappe's shirt off whilst he was dribbling free. Take him out to dinner first, man. Andorran international Ilda Lima suggested simply asking for his shirt seemed to work very well whilst on international duty against the Frenchman. Yo, Kylian, I know it's a little bit late now, but is there any chance if I ask nicely, maybe you could... No. Mbappe was slowing down for absolutely nobody, scoring a hat-trick here against Barcelona. It felt like somewhat of a passing of the torch from Lionel Messi over to Mbappe. Obviously, we all know Messi's still a very good footballer, but this was genuinely one of those moments where you witness the future become the present. I almost felt bad for Barcelona during this one. Defensively, they were just running about like headless chickens after PSG's front line. They were done so dirty that the officials genuinely considered calling Gerard Piqué's parents for a meeting about how bad the bullying is becoming. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Gerard aged about 6 years during this one. It's bad enough as it is, half the squad was born during the Old Testament. Yo, that's mad to be fair. Moses parting the Red Sea, Moyes parting Barcelona. Coincidence? I think not. Barcelona look a mess, man, and it's actually quite sad to see. Growing up, they've always been a side that's played phenomenal football and won a lot doing so. Maybe once they've got Martin Braithwaite back in the side, we'll see the real them. Somebody's gotta save Lionel Messi, man. For just 3 tax-free, because we don't do those round here, pounds, you can adopt this small man. He genuinely looks in pain at how bad the rest of the side around him is. Kylian Mbappe has rocked up into his back garden, trespassed for a start, that's an illegal offence, and said,
"You don't even look comfortable in your own ends. Don't look comfortable, I'm around."
It's impressive as well from PSG after limited sleep for the French side. Barcelona fans let off fireworks outside of their hotel to try and prevent them from sleeping. Unfortunately, it looks like it's backfired tremendously. It's the first ever honorary anti-housery award. BT Sport pundit Joe Cole just couldn't really put his finger on what was going wrong. Was it the failings of Barcelona's academy, La Masia, or was it down to an Indian dish?
Younger players like the Pedris, the Des, the next generation of the Masala, the academy there,
And just when Barca fans thought it couldn't get any worse, images of Ronald Koeman were blasted everywhere, laughing at full time after being slapped about by the opposition. Honestly, mate, on a level, how the fuck have I got this job? But let's praise PSG here. Kylian Mbappe, obviously unplayable. A hat-trick that's a career-defining moment if he hadn't already had enough. Marco Verratti, absolutely superb in the midfield. And all of this without Angel Di Maria and the injured Ney. Wait, he's injured. Oh, not again. You're telling me he got injured just before Valentine's Day with a setback that could keep him out till his sister's birthday? Has this man actually just done a 2-for-1 deal? He's gonna be gutted when he realizes he's back before Mother's Day. Honestly, I've actually had enough of this family at this point. It genuinely frustrates me. How many titles do they want me to include them in? The family tree is gonna be absolutely raucous at this point. they're fucked. At what point does it actually get suspicious to the boss and the rest of his teammates? Oh no, oh boss, oh no, that's crazy. That's the knee gone, mate. The knee injury, it's come back to bite. Oh, if only I could go home for some physiotherapy treatment. Oh, just send him home, man. His dad took to Instagram to complain about the opposition and their manager, suggesting they intentionally tried to injure his son. I don't know why you're piping up. You're probably involved in this mess of a family tree as well. Elsewhere in the Champions League, and Liverpool beat RB Leipzig at 2. Wait, hang on. We won again. Yo, what? Does this mean I'm finally able to end croquet this week? Well, that's quite the dampener. The 2-0 victory away from home in the leg means we've almost sealed our place in the quarterfinals. Alisson went 90 minutes without disaster. Personally, I think it's about time for a speech. And finally, I would like to thank my feet for not getting cold. There were rumours that the second leg wouldn't be held at Anfield. Obviously, the first leg was held in Hungary because of the ongoing Corona situation and border control in relation to the UK right now. Honestly, that would probably be better for us, given our home form recently. Ex-Liverpool goalkeeper Petr Gulácsi got in a spot of bother after an Andrew Robertson halfway line attempt. Thankfully, he's okay, but the edits were... they were something to behold. Back to the Premier League, though, now, and Manchester City swept aside at Tottenham Hotspur with a 3-0 victory at the Etihad. The first goal came from the penalty spot in the form of Rodri, but after missed penalties recently, Ederson was more than in contention to take it. Now look, hear me out on this one. No. See, Ederson gets told what to do. Alisson comes out and does what he likes. He takes control of the situation. Your goalkeeper could never. Meanwhile, for the final goal, a long ball forward found Ilkay Gundogan, who just put Davinson Sanchez in a spliff. It was actually ridiculous to behold. I can only assume his hero growing up defensively was Jerome Boateng. Look, at least he's not got too far to go when it comes to travel now, okay? Speaking of travel, mate, you shouldn't be there. That breaks lockdown rules. And staying in the Premier League, Arsenal beat Leeds 4-2 in an absolute thriller of a game. Bukayo Saka turned into prime Thierry Henry, whilst Marcelo Bielsa will have been disappointed to end up 4-0 down at one stage. But it's okay, alright, because his expected bucket sat on was extremely high. Tactical genius. Completed breaths by his lead side at an all-time high. It wasn't a great week for all Arsenal players, though, all things considered, as Gabriel Martinelli had his Instagram account hacked, which led to this live stream and video being posted by this random masked man. Felipe Coutinho was dropping likes here and there. Now is not the time. As you can see, here is the hacker's final act in control of the account. Meanwhile, Michail Antonio was entirely distracted during the course of the last 7 days. I love you with all my willy. I would say my heart, but my willy is bigger. A philosophical stolen quote there from Michail Antonio. I think I remember Mahatma Gandhi saying that one. No wonder the guy's fatigued on fantasy football. Nigerian striker Kelechi Iheanacho managed to help his Leicester side through in the FA Cup. His reasoning behind just deciding to score being the fact that he was cold and that he couldn't be asked for extra time is phenomenal. Meanwhile, his Leicester teammate is entirely disrespectful. In a game down in League One between Ipswich and Northampton Town, we had an unbelievable situation where a referee physically squared up to one of the Ipswich Town players and had to be separated by everybody else. You're not the one that's meant to see red, lad. It's the players. It's the fact that he's giving him a yellow card afterwards as well, just out of spite. You just square up to me. And what, mate? I'll give you a red card as well after you, pagan. Meanwhile, we had some very unfortunate placement between this campaign and an advertising board. We promise Italian lives do matter just as much.
Wes, è stata una partita molto importante. No, tranquillo. Faccio and then I translate for you.
Barcelona's league campaign is proving to cause as many issues as their Champions League one is, after Marc-Andre ter Stegen got in a spat with a Sevilla ball boy, telling him to stop talking. You're not here to talk. Show some respect. Might as well have gone full Eden Hazard mode and double-footed him. A mural has arrived on the streets of Milan, paying homage to what has proved to be quite an iconic derby between Inter and AC Milan, where Zlatan and Lukaku were going up against each other. They could have at least got it from Lukaku's angle. Manchester United legend and Sky Sports pundit Roy Keane has arrived on Instagram this week. He had a special post for Valentine's Day, and honestly, this and Jose Mourinho could get us through lockdown on Insta. Over at Oxford, and in a game against Wigan Athletic, a floodlight fire meant the game had to be delayed by an hour, whilst the emergency services and fire engines put out the flames. And in an interview this week, lead striker Patrick Bamford Trafford complained about Sean Dyche's treatment of him when he was playing under the Burnley manager, suggesting that Sean didn't like him because he thought he was too posh. Listen, I rate it. Look, Dyche, proper Brexit mentality. You only play here if you drink Fosters, if you arrive at training in shorts even when it's December, and you have to have a fully fledged van driving license if you're ever gonna get signed. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty. I know it's Valentine's Day, but come on. And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Over in Iranian football, and we had this astonishing video of probably the longest throw-in of all time, acrobatically delivered. Rory Delap is raging as we speak. Vast amounts of heavy snow meant this Bulgarian league match was being played at subpar conditions, it's fair to say. Meanwhile, over in Slovakia, and this goalkeeper was not letting the snow get in the way. Over in Brazil, and in a league game involving Sao Paulo, after a corner was pushed back to their own goalkeeper, it's fair to say he didn't deal with the situation very well in the 93rd minute of the game. Thankfully for him, his blushes were spared as Sao Paulo went up the other end 2 minutes later and scored to equalise before the game finished. Meanwhile, there's the incredible story of Manchester United youngster Charlie McNeil, who once upon a time played for Manchester City's youth ranks. He scored hundreds and hundreds of goals there, signed for United recently, played against his former side and scored 4 goals against them before kissing the badge of his new employers. I mean, it's the definition of a shithousery award, isn't it?
Top sürmek oldukça zor gördüğünüz gibi. Anıl vurdu şut. Akın ilerliyor. Akın maalesef ki top geride kaldı.
In a game between Porto and Braga over in Portugal, a shocking leg injury to David Carmo of Braga meant a lengthy halt to the game in which an ambulance was able to be driven onto the pitch to take him away. I wish him well, hopefully he recovers speedily. Unfortunately for him, the ambulance wasn't doing a similar thing. The players had to push it off the pitch because it couldn't get going. Staying in Portugal but going down several divisions, and we've got whatever the hell this is.
A bola chega até Diogo Correia, no cara a cara com Paulinho. Diogo Correia, o chapéu e a bola na barra. E agora? Rui Faria faz auto...
Meanwhile, in Sweden, we must have missed the memo somewhere, but apparently managers can take throw-ins now.
Egenskap av äldst på plan för Norrköpings del.
Now though, it's time for Still at 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is the segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. Now, we've seen a lot about goalkeepers today, alright? The good, the bad, certainly the ugly. I'll let you guys decipher the capabilities of this non-league goalkeeper.
Runs it into Will. Oh, he leaves it for Leon. Ooh. Oh, it's gone in! It's in! It's in! It's gone in! Oh, it's there!
On to the weird stuff though now. Vanarama national side Chester FC had to abandon one of their training Zoom calls because hackers were able to get into the call and just show off images that are very much XXX to the point where they just had to end it. We've actually got a non-pixelated version of the images here. We've got the news that the grandson of Benito Mussolini, the former founder and leader of the National Fascist Party in Italy, has in fact now signed for Lazio. I guess he'll be more than used to dictating the play. Meanwhile, there was the announcement that Hungarian side Kaposvár had terminated their captain's contract during the first half of a game they were literally playing in. I'm gonna need you to press higher up the pitch, lad. Also, you're sacked. And finally, we've got one of the most ridiculous stories I think there's ever been on FTW. The story of Andile Mpizani, who is playing in South Africa for Royal AMFC. He made his debut for his new club this week, which doesn't sound all that bad, until you realise realise he's actually a reality TV star and musician whose mum bought the club in order to sign him to it to then give him his debut because he wanted to be a footballer. Imagine having parents so rich they can just buy a club and give you the debut. This is the Sunday League son who never gets dropped but on steroids. That is going to be it for football this week though, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at the official FNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.